this. So your classwork, when I say click on classwork, that's what I mean at the top, right? So you're going to scroll down, Virtual Academy Week 4. This is where we should be. So today is April 13th. We're on Unit 7. So once you open the assignment, you will see these 3 things. So you're already here with me there. This is the slideshow. You can go back for directions or follow along with me. I have a few people in there now. But the analyzing and argument note-taking document should look like this. Okay? So everybody should be here with me. Hopefully you are. If you still can't get in, just follow along and complete this, and then I'll help you with that after class or after you finish Byron's class too. Okay? So everybody should be here with me and also in Apex Learning. So you should see this. So these are the 2 things you should see. All right, let's get started. It is 10:27, is a lot to cover today. So hopefully we get through everything. Make sure I don't have any questions. Did you reset mine? I did. Let me type it in. I did. So Zoe, let me help you so we can get started. Let me do it one more time just to be sure. So thank you guys for being patient. This takes a lot of work, as you can see. This is our first day, so I was expecting a lot of this. So Zoe, I just reset it again, and I'm going to shoot this out to you, okay? So look in the chat for your new information. Yep, so just follow along on the... No, I'm sending it in the chat now, copying and pasting.
Yep, well, like, oh, okay.
Kamani's still not working, writing that down. Password? Yep, so that should be your login and password. So start APS is the login. Yep, so just follow along if you can't get in. All right, you can see my screen, and hopefully you can pull up this Google Doc. Let me share my screen again. I might need 2 computers. I think that's what I'll do next time. Hey, Jediah. What? Jediah is here. Welcome. All right, so I am sharing my screen. It's taking a while, internet's slow. So you should be here taking your notes as we go along with the learning. So let's get started. If you can't get in, that is okay. Just follow along with your notes. This is in Google Classroom, okay? You'll see it for classwork for today. All right, so we are talking about arguments. Arguments. I hear somebody's mic. Make sure your mics are muted. All right, so key understanding. An argument uses emotional, logical, or ethical appeals in order to persuade the audience. So think about if you were trying to get someone to play Fortnite. What would you do to appeal or make them want to join you and play Fortnite? So you have to appeal to their emotions, their logic, and their ethics. Okay, so logical appeals can make an argument more effective. We'll talk about what logic means. Argumentative structures can help an author effectively communicate an argument. Okay, so we're going to talk about all of these today. By the end, you should know all of this. So again, an argument uses emotional, logical, or ethical appeals in order to persuade an audience. So an argument tries to persuade the audience to feel a certain way or to take a particular action. Okay, so maybe you might be persuading people to stay inside during coronavirus. Maybe you might be persuading somebody to do something else. So you have to basically appeal to maybe the person's emotion, what they may believe and think. Okay, so we're going to explore these tabs. So logic. Logic targets the audience sense of reasons. So through the use of evidence and facts are your key words. Authors prove their argument is reasonable and makes sense. So you have to think about logic using evidence and facts. Okay, so an example of this you see down here. Samples taken from the Saskatoon River contained mercury. with some readings as high as 5%. So remember, evidence and facts, most times you will see numbers or dates, okay? So that should be a key idea or key detail to let you know that it's logic. All right, ethics. Ethics appeals to ethics establish the character and credibility of the author or speaker by drawing attention to his or her own experiences or by using quotes from credible sources. All right, so an example of this one, we're going to work on this because I think logic and ethics could get confused. So we're going to talk about that and practice that, okay? So an example of ethics would be environmental scientist Roger Bach says, in my 30 years of field work in this area, I have never encountered mercury levels this high. So basically, you can see the speaker is drawing attention to his or her own experiences. Okay. So basically, they're telling you what someone else's experience was on the topic. So they're kind of like experts. So you can see maybe a doctor might say this, scientist, a teacher, or whoever's studying the topic. All right, moving on to emotional appeals. So this one's easy. Okay, so emotional appeals stir the audience's emotions. So authors might use emotional language to make the audience feel happy, anger, or sympathy. We see a lot of this with politics. Okay, they use a lot of emotions to get the audience, particularly our president currently. So an example of this would be children in particular are sensitive to the effects of mercury. So you see how they use a child to kind of make you feel like, oh, which can include neurological or brain related damage. So who wants to hurt a child, right? So that's why they are appealing to your emotions here. So looking at your guide, you should be able to answer this first question. Number one, authors rely on, boom, audience appeals in order to strengthen their argument. Okay, so you might be wondering, what is audience appeal? Here's the key term here. Audience appeals, methods of persuading an audience through emotion, logic, and ethics. Okay, so that's also one of your key terms here on your Google Doc. So if you go there, go ahead and type that in. Methods of persuading an audience through emotion, logic, or ethics. I'll give you about 30 seconds.
Ms. Warren, I have a question.
Yes, question.
Okay, so my screen popped up because I was behind, but I don't know which one to click on. So I don't know how to get to that.
Oh, so click on number 7, analyzing an argumentative text. And then skip the pretest. And then click on analyzing an argument. And then click on learn it.
Okay. I just click on the stuff to go to like where you are?
Yeah, and you can click the arrows at the top.
Okay.
All right, so let's move on. Hopefully you got this key term on your note-taking sheet, and you also filled in the blank here, audience appeals. All right, so I know I've been talking a lot. So now it's time to actually practice this, okay? So the following excerpt is from a speech President Lyndon B. Johnson gave in 1965 at the signing of the Highway Beautification Act. The main purpose of the act was to improve the scenery along the highway by getting rid of advertising along the road. As you read, explore Johnson's use of logical, emotional, and ethical audience appeals to persuade his audience that signing this act into law was a good idea. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this. Not too much. It's about 4 paragraphs. And you're going to tell me which appeal is he using. Or I'm going to tell you which appeal he's using, and then we'll practice. Okay? Well, in recent years, I think America has sadly neglected this part of America's national heritage. We have placed a wall of civilization between us and the beauty of our land and of our countryside. In our eagerness to expand and to improve, we have regulated nature to a weekend role, and we have banished it from our daily lives. Well, I think that we are a poorer nation because of it. And it is something I am not proud of. And it is something I'm going to do something about. Because as long as I'm your president, by choice of your people, I do not choose to preside over the destiny of this country and to hide from view what God has gladly given it. And that is why today there's a great deal of real joy within me and within my family as we meet here in this historic East Room to sign the Highway Beautification Act of 1965. Now, this bill does more than control advertising and junkyards along the billions of dollars of highways that the people have built with their money, but public money, not private money. It does more than give us the tools just to landscape some of those highways. This bill will bring the wonders of nature back into our daily lives. This bill will enrich our spirits and restore a small measure of our national greatness. So, looking at this underlying portion here, so basically, President Johnson is appealing to the audience's emotions. Basically, he's saying, I think America has sadly, you see that word, sadly, neglected this part of America's national heritage. So he's making people feel kind of some sort of emotion about neglecting America's heritage, right? So he's telling you a lot of people feel sad about it, and maybe you should feel sad about that too. Okay, so he's trying to talk and get your emotions going. So I want you to be looking for adjectives or adverbs that kind of tell you when the author's speaking how they want you to feel, their tone, their mood. Okay, that is going to be emotional appeal. Okay, here, the second one. So here, the president appeals to ethics as he refers to his role as the president. So he's saying, because as long as I'm your president, by choice of your people, I do not choose to preside over the destiny of this country and to hide from view what God has gladly given it. So he's telling you, I'm a good man. You could trust me. I'm here for you. I'm here to do what's best for you. So he's appealing to his ethics, how good of a person he can be for the people or what's good for the people. Okay. So here's an example here where he is appealing to your logic. So remember, logic is going to have more of the facts and more of things that you can see with numbers or something that's like evidence, something you could prove. Okay. Now, this bill does more than control advertising and junkyards along the billions of dollars of highways that people have built with their money, public money, not private money. So he's kind of making you think, okay, these people, they're using billions of dollars and some, it's public money. And it's money that you guys are paying with your taxes. It's not private money. So they're using your money. So he's giving you facts here. Okay, so that's logic. All right, so we're going to go on to a practice. Here's what I want you to do. On your note-taking sheet, I have here these 4 examples. So there's 3 categories each one can go into, right? So logic, think about it, facts, emotion, heart, ethics, am I a good person? Can you trust me? Okay, so think about those things as you're doing this. I want you to take about 1 minute to go through each 4 and tell me which category the appeal is in. Are they being emotional? Are they using logic? Are they using ethics? And you'll find this right here in number 4. Okay, so this is where we are right now. Number 4. So I'll set my timer and then we will discuss. I'll have some people share out. Okay, so I'll give you 1 minute to do that. Down to about 30 seconds and then we will discuss. 3 seconds. All right, so let's discuss the first two. Okay. A student who is running for school president references her success on the student council in her role as captain of the basketball team. Is this person using logic, emotions, or ethics? I want you to share out in the chat box. Let's see what we all come up with. Logic, emotions, or ethics? Hey, Miss Turner. So we got ethics, ethics, ethics. Yes, for the people who came in late, we're rolling. I'm sorry, I'll try to catch you up. Ethics, 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 ethics. All right. I will agree with you guys. This is definitely ethics. So that's a good job, guys. Definitely ethics. She's telling you how good she is, right? How you could trust her. She's had success. You could trust her. She's ethical. She's trustworthy. She was the captain of her basketball team. All right, so the second one. A man describes the experience of living next to a garbage transfer station and the horrible living conditions he has to personally endure. Logic, emotions, ethics. What do you think? Chat box, chat box, chat box. Emotions, emotions, emotions. He wants you to feel bad. Smelly, smelly, smelly. Yeah, I would be mad too. I'd be very emotional. Good job, guys. Definitely emotions. So he is appealing to your emotions. He's trying to make you kind of feel something about his situation. So that is definitely emotions. So you should have the other two filled out. Hopefully they're correct. I'll check them later when you turn them in. All right, so far, any questions? There are three types of appeals for arguments, right? So we have three different types. To remember this, I came up with the acronym EEL, like EEL, because you have to kind of move smoothly if you want people to believe your argument, right? You have to move about, you have to have some sort of background to help people see what you see, believe, and feel what you feel. So, yep. So as we're going on, you're gonna do 3. I'll let you know when to. All right. So EEL can help you remember. You have emotions, ethics, logics. Okay. Let's go back into the classroom. And for the last 2, I think I have to type something. We'll just go on. There we go. So read the following remarks made by the First Lady Michelle Obama. Which section of this text appeals to logic? All right, so remember what logic is. So there are some people who were asking me about these things that we're doing. As we're going along, you can fill out number 2 and number 3. All right, so audience appeal uses language that inspires happiness. We should know that's emotions, right? Let me help y'all figure this one out. Draws attention to the author's credibility. Are they a good person? Expert. So we said this is going to be logic. No, ethics. Sorry. Ethics. And then this is going to be logic. So we have EEL here, our acronym. All right, so make sure you're using that to help you. I'm going to let you guys read this one on your own. Okay, so there are 3 paragraphs, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to give you 90 seconds to read this, and we'll come back together, and you're going to give me the answer, and I'm going to help you, of course.
Hey, Ms. Walden, is there any way to make your that Learn It box any bigger? The font got really small.
Hey, Ms. Walden.
Oh, yeah, perfect. Thank you.
No problem. Make sure you mute your mic,
Isn't this the
guys.
head? Cut on camera. No.
Got about 20 seconds and we'll come back together.
Miss
Yes.
Walden, I have
Question.
a question. So after we finish taking the notes, you want us to turn them in? Okay, thank you.
All right, so let's discuss which part of this argument, well, I wouldn't really consider this an argument in terms of fighting, but she's trying to prove something, right? She wants to persuade you to think and believe something. Which part of her argument uses logic? Go ahead and type it in your chat box. Nakai says the first sentence, the first underlined sentence. Albany. And remember, if you go back to your notes, logic presents facts, provides evidence, relies on reasoning, facts, evidence, reasoning. I would agree with you guys. This portion right here, this would be the second sentence, right? Today, according to a recent CDC report that I know you all have discussed, obesity rates have fallen by 43% among children ages 2 to 5 years old. So right there, she uses logic. She uses evidence. She gives you facts, okay, that you can actually see. And this is from a CDC report. All right, so this is an example of logic. All right, good job with that. Any questions so far before we head out and go on to the next thing? Any questions so far?
Ms. Walden,
Yes.
we didn't do 3 or 4, right? Because I didn't submit them yet.
Say 3 or 4 of the note-taking sheet?
Like the determined chart, basically, to see like if it was like that one.
Mm-hmm. So you can finish it once we get done. If you didn't finish these last 2, you can finish it
Okay.
once we get done.
All right, I just want to.
Yeah. No worries. So we have some more vocabulary words coming up, right, on this next slide. So you already have audience appeals. We did that first. 3 different types, right? We have evidence and relevant. What's relevant? So let's go back and discuss that. So logical appeals can make an argument more effective. So using evidence and facts makes it more effective. I told you guys that all year, right? Arguments that rely mostly on logical appeals are considered to be the most effective because they use relevant evidence to support the author's argument. So relevant meaning pertaining directly to a topic. So if you're talking about coronavirus, you don't want to give evidence or facts that's talking about high school dropout rates, okay? You want to make sure it's relevant. If you can tie those 2 together and prove that maybe corona influenced high school graduation rates, then you can. But you want to make sure all of your evidence supports your topic. It's directly related to your topic, so it's relevant. And then, of course, evidence is information that helps to prove a claim, okay? So when you guys do your constructive response, I always ask for evidence. You have to prove or support your claim. All right, so the difference between emotional and logical appeals. Let's click logical first. So solar power can help eliminate our dependence on oil, which still makes up over 80% of our energy consumption. And solar power is a renewable source of energy that, according to the Center for Energy Consumption, could lessen our national energy costs by up to 60%. You see, we have numbers here. This is logical appeal. Definitely some facts, some evidence to prove their claim. Okay, that solar power can help eliminate our dependency on oil. Emotional appeal, on the other hand, would be solar power gives us the ability to help make the world a better place. You see how they're already getting your heart. Oh, I want to make the world a better place. Who doesn't? Using solar power is one thing we can do for this country. We love and for the nature that is all around us. Okay. So it's still persuading you to think about solar power or using solar power, but it's kind of pulling at your heartstrings. Like, don't you want to make this world a better place? Don't you want to be a good person? Okay. So you can see the difference, right? Hopefully. Any questions so far? We're moving right along, guys. Hopefully, this is easy for you once you go into your try it, review it, and test it phase. Okay. Any questions so far? LA, question, yes.
When we finish, we're going to take the post test.
Yes, that's going to be a part of your exit for this lesson. So you're going to be doing,
Okay, thank you.
yep. So you're going to be doing these 3 things on your own. So I'm kind of guiding you through the first stages so you can learn it, and then you're going to practice it, try it. You're going to review it, and then you're going to test it. Okay. So all of these will give me one big grade for you, and that's what I'm going to be using for your grade, plus your note taking. All right. So our last little try here. Which statement best describes the effectiveness of the emotional audience appeal used in this passage? Which statement best describes, your statements are below, best describes the effectiveness of the emotional audience appeal used in this passage? So we know it's going to be emotional appeal in here. So we're going to see, is it good, meaning the effectiveness? The Everett City Council should budget money toward building more parks within the city limits. Parks are beautiful places where people can enjoy all the benefits of nature. Our spirits are thirsty for open air and recreation. Daily life is so busy and full of computer screens and TV sets. We need a place to unwind and reconnect with what's really important. We need something that feeds our soul, something to lift us up and carry us through the rest of our days. We need the experience of watching a bluebird soaring over the tops of oak trees. We need to lie on our backs on the green, green grass. So, which statement best describes the effectiveness of the emotional audience appeal used in this passage? I'm going to give you a second to look at the options. I'm going to give you about 20 seconds. This appeal is effective because it uses a logical appeal to illustrate the relationship between parks and the happiness of the community. This appeal is ineffective because it relies on the authority of the writer instead of providing facts and evidence that appeal to logic. This appeal is ineffective because it tries to connect to the reader emotionally instead of providing facts and evidence that appeal to logic. This appeal is effective because it uses an emotional appeal to provide evidence explaining exactly how funding parks would be beneficial. So I'll let you take a vote. We have 4 choices. We have A, which is number 1, right? B, number 2, C, number 3, or 4, number D, for letter D. 20 seconds. Let's check the chat box. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. So Ayana says C. Okay. This appeal is ineffective. So you think it's ineffective? Okay. C. Hey, Miracle.
Hey.
So let's see. I have C. Let's try it. First, let's get a hint. Consider what type of appeal would be most helpful in convincing the city council to spend more money on building parks. That hint means I think it would be more beneficial to use an emotional appeal, perhaps. So let's see. Correct. This argument's purpose is to convince the city council to spend money on building parks. So an appeal to logic that makes use of data and evidence probably makes the most sense. So I'm too emotional. I'm all in my feelings out. So they're saying you need to have logic and data and evidence for it to make sense. Okay. So good job for my people. Yes, thank you. The answer is C. It would be more effective. This would be a better argument if they use facts and evidence. Okay. All right. So the time is 10:57, right? We have come to the end. We have come to the end. I know this was my first day doing this, right? So there were a lot of troubleshooting. What I do want you to do, for those who are able to see the Learn It page, get the rest of these key terms down, like cause and effect, analogy, authority. Okay, so these are some key terms that you're going to just write down the definitions and finish this sheet for me. Okay, you see how you're matching it? You don't even have to write the definitions, you just match it. Easy, easy, easy. So you're going to put, like, if it's number one, cause and effect, if you think cause and effect is A, you write A here. Number two, analogy, if you think it's A, B, C, write C there. Okay, so that's what you're going to do. Exit ticket is on the last page. This is your exit ticket for this lesson. Okay, so I have two arguments here. You're going to think about which one is more effective, and you're going to be thinking about what type of appeal are they using. Is it emotional? Is it ethics? Is it logic? Okay, and you're going to say, hey, is this a better argument? Which one is better, A or B? And you're going to give me two sentences about why is it more effective. Okay, so that's your exit ticket. Those are the things that I want to see you do and practice on your own. This Google Doc is due to me today. I know you guys have to run and go to Byron's class at 11:10, so I don't want to run over, okay? So there are only a few things I want to go over before you head out, okay? So we just finished our lesson. I want to talk about next meeting. So next meeting is Wednesday at 10 a.m. Okay, so I'm going to meet you here, this same Google Code, same place, same chair. I'm going to meet you here every Monday and Wednesday at 10 a.m. Okay, so that's 1 hour with me. That's the time for us to go over our lesson. I'm here for you every day. Okay, so if you have a question, you're stuck, you can text me, you can send me an email. A lot of people text me, you can call me, you can send me messages in Google Classroom, whatever you need to do to get the work done. Do not just sit there and just let the work pile on top of you. Okay, don't do that. So again, we will use the same meeting code as today. I will resend the link and code each morning before class like I did today. Please do not go in Apex and try to do everything, because it's going to cause a bigger problem in the end. I'm going to have to reset. Your time will be wasted. All of those things. Okay, so just stay with me. Rock with me. Hold on one second. So today's Apex assignments are due by Wednesday at 10 a.m. So that's to try it, that's to review it, that's to test it. Due by Wednesday, 10 a.m. Why? Because you're getting another lesson on Wednesday, and then you're going to have more and more and more to do. So turn it in by Wednesday, okay? All right, any questions about the next meeting? I heard somebody come in, I think. What do you mean more effective? So more effective means better. Is it a good argument? Does it get to the point?
Hey, Ward.
Does it make you want to, does it persuade you? Does it move you? So how do you submit the assignment from Google Doc? There's a button right at the top on your page that says turn in. You just click turn in right in there, Alexander. Turn in should be the top right page. All right, any more questions? Okay, so Rylan, I got you down here too. I'll fix it for you. All right, so let me get you guys out of here. I want you to have all of your break time. So now it is time for dismissal. Make sure you turn in your Google Doc for this virtual class. This was the first class. I don't think it went bad. We had a lot of beforehand issues to take care of, so that's no problem. Finish and submit all assignments by this Wednesday, 10 a.m. Repeat it again. This week, Reading Plus.
Oh,
I know y'all hate it, but we the best. We the best. We the best. Miss Walden's class, we the best. So this week, Reading Plus will count as extra credit. Okay, that means you have 60 minutes of Reading Plus time.
Miss Walden.
Hold on 1 minute, 1 second. So 60 minutes of Reading Plus time will count as extra credit. Extra credit, okay? Tell other students about my live classes. I will stay online until 4 p.m. for those students with questions. So when you go to Byram next and you have questions, you can come back to me, text, call, email. Okay?
And parents, Ms. Morgan, I'm trying to get Alex's mom is trying to get, I'm here with him and trying to get a feel of it. But I have some like kind of general questions. Can I come back for parents and ask questions?
Yeah, that'd be a good thing for me too. I can have a parent session, or if you want to call me, you can definitely call me. I'll put my number here for everybody that's in here.
You know what? I would love a weekly little 15-minute parent session to check in.
Yeah. Is this Alexander Blaine?
Yes, ma'am. Oh, and your number. I'm recording it.
All right. So I'm putting it in there now. So just Reading Plus. No, so you're gonna
Miss
do
Walden.
hold on, let me answer this one question. What time again? Every day at 10 o'clock. Okay, let's say I need help on it. Okay, Miss Walden, my login's still not working, but I took notes on the paper. Yes, Kamani. So let me write you down, Kamani. Good job. Reading Plus. So Reading Plus, you're gonna do Albany, Reading Plus, and Apex. Well, Reading Plus is optional. It's extra credit. You don't have to do Reading Plus, but you have to do Apex. Have to do Apex. My computer kept crashing. Okay, well, glad you're back, Robin. Bye, guys. Bye, Ibrahim. All right, any more questions before you guys head out? So that I came in late.
Miss
I don't know
Walden.
where to start.
Miss Walden.
Okay.
Miss Walden. Let me get on Apex.
Mayan. Yes, Albany, you can do Mayan. Who's that? Miracle?
Yeah.
Okay, so Miracle Apex. I'll check it for you. Bye, David.
Okay.
Oh my! I came in late.
I'm
And
gonna
I
fix
don't
it
know
for
what
you,
to start
Heather.
Apex.
Yes. So Tyree, you're gonna start. Oh, by the way, class, you're dismissed. So you can go ahead. You can only stay if you have questions. Byron's class starts at 11:10. So take a little break and be back. Bye, Jediah. Glad to see you, Jediah. All right. So Heaven, yes, I'm gonna fix you. Tyree, question. In Apex, you're gonna go to Unit 7. It's called Analyzing an Argument.
And like
I can take. Can you see my screen?
tick.
Yes, I'm still presenting. Okay, so you're gonna go to Unit 7. If I can count right, there we go. Analyzing argumentative text. So you're gonna click there, and then we're in analyzing an argument. So this is for Monday, and then this one, the second one's for Wednesday.